What's going on, YouTube? I am here, one half of TPP. My name is Troy. I am a host in Orlando, and I'm joined by
Steven. I'm a host in Washington, D.C.
And today we're going to talk about the hot topic since we just started 2024. Is Turo worth it in 2024? Obviously, our ideas are a little skewed because we're two successful hosts that have just went through the entire year of 2023. I started doing Turo full-time in March of last year, and Steven, you started doing it full-time in...
February of 2023. A whole year now.
Yeah. So we're both right at about that full year mark. We're just going to kind of talk about our experience and how we've been successful and how we're coaching people to be successful in this business and why we believe Turo is worth it in 2024.
Yeah. So to start the video off, we decided to talk about market research. A lot of people, they see Turo and they're like, oh, I'm just going to slap on my, some car that's just been sitting in my garage, which you can totally do. That's totally fine. We don't know what your you probably have zero expectations for that car. So it's not a bad thing to just throw it up. But if you want to get into Turo and make it a very lucrative business like we do, where you're making $1,000 profit per car at least, then this is the video for you and this is what you want to hear. Don't just go out and buy like the Tesla. Everyone has a Tesla. Go to Turo.com, go to your area, filters, and put in Tesla, and you'll see how many. There are certain niches you need to hit. There are areas such as California, Arizona. It's very saturated with competition. You have a lot of competition, and so you got to find certain niches that will do well for you. You may be asking, Steven and or Troy, what kind of niches are you guys talking about? I'm talking SUV. I'm talking minivan. I'm talking off-road trucking, camp vehicles. You got to be looking at these type of niches. You got to think outside of the box and not just think Tesla or I want to go and get the Porsche SUV, the new Macan. I want to go get the Beamer. You can't just think like that. They might work, but you got to do your due diligence. And if you don't want to do that due diligence and you want two successful hosts to do it for you, join our Discord and ask us, and we'll happily do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, right? You have to know what your market, caters to. Like, let's say, I always think of Aubrey, the girl on YouTube that does Turo videos, right? She's in a market where probably not a lot of people travel. I think she's in an outside city in Texas where not a lot of people travel. And she caters to people that have their cars in the shop or whatever the case may be. She caters to those people and she does cheap economy vehicles. Her husband is a mechanic by trade, so he can work on these cheap vehicles. They buy them at a really low price and they're able to work on them really cheaply. Me, I live in Orlando. It's super, super tourist driven. So me having those cheap economy cars doesn't really work out in my favor. And the fact that I have zero mechanical background doesn't help me. So every area is different and there is a niche in every single area. Even if you're in Los Angeles, it's oversaturated. There's still ways that you can capitalize on your market. And if you guys join in our Discord and you look at it, you can see that even in my market, that's super, super saturated, right? There's over 2 million people that live in Orlando. And there's tons and tons of hosts, over 200 Teslas alone, like you said, pretty much over 200 of every single make that you can imagine. There's ways to find the right vehicle and price your vehicles correctly, offer the right options and things like that. So I think that you have a really good point. You have to do your market research. You have to be able to evaluate what cars you're buying and why you're buying them and really be able to capitalize on your market. So what works in DC may or may not work in Orlando. What works in Orlando may or may not work in a small city in Texas, Arizona, whatever the case may be. So it's really important to have the right idea going into this business and really understanding your market before going out and buying a car. And like Steven said, absolutely do not go buy a Tesla, no matter what. The tax write-offs, I see it all the time, right? We have people in our group all the time like, oh, I'm going to buy this because I get a $7,500 tax credit and this tax credit and this tax credit, but you're still going to be renting the car $40 a day. So it doesn't really make sense. The tax credits are good, but as we're going to talk about later in this video, there's so many tax benefits to this business. So don't buy a car based off of tax benefits alone.
Now, don't get us wrong. We both have a Tesla up on our own Turo page. But I got mine. It was originally a personal. It was a blacked out Model Y, but I ended up putting it up just because I like to rotate between all my cars. You know, I get bored sometimes. And the Model Y does pretty well. I think it did 1,500 last month. You know, not the best, but I had a snowstorm, which was basically like a week or two just gone. You know, no one really wants to rent an EV during a snowstorm. And Troy could tell you about his Model 3. Like, he killed. See, if you guys do have a Tesla and you want the secrets, you join our Discord. Go ahead, Troy. Tell them what your Model 3 did in January.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll probably screenshot it and we can just post it in the video right here. So look somewhere on this video. We're going to go ahead and post a screenshot from my January of 2023. And maybe we'll do a scroll of Orlando so you can see how many Model 3s there are. I think there's over 160 Model 3s alone in Orlando. The average price they're being rented out at is like $54 a day. And to Steven's point, I get $99 a day all day on my Tesla Model 3, which is insane. If you're a host, you can understand how crazy that is. And I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm going to go ahead and show the proof right here so you guys can see. These are facts. There's ways to be able to manipulate your market and really be successful in this business. Steven and I have just figured out how to do that in a short period of time. And I know that there's a lot of hosts out there struggling. So we're trying to get this information out to people and really just open people's eyes onto how you can do this business correctly. So I'll post it up here. You guys will see it's facts. This isn't bullshit numbers made up off the top of our heads. These are real numbers that can be verified on Turo itself.
Yep. All right. Now, moving on to the next point of the video. Please do not get emotionally attached to your cars. You know, before doing this video, we went on Reddit, we went on YouTube, and we were checking like what deters people from Turo. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, you know, like what if the car gets damaged and it's like out of commission and whatnot. You can't be getting attached. You got to look at every vehicle like an employee. They're there to make you money, and that's all they're really there for to do. If they get damaged, so be it. You know, there are ways where you can come out of a damage claim in big profit. You know, some people, their whole game with Turo is hoping that they get into a damage claim. We're not promoting insurance fraud, but we do know how to pretty much ensure that you come out of a damage claim in profit, regardless of your deductible plan. We're both on the 90% plan. And yeah, like, what was another point? They were just saying, you know, the car is generating like $500 profit per month. But then you get into one damage claim and it like sets you back and your net negative. This goes back to, you know, we'll help you come out of a damage claim on top. But another thing is, I've done 255 trips now and I've had 4 damage claims, and 2 of them have been on the Corvette. And so that's just like, you know, it's a sports car. People are going to do that. But like my economy cars, it almost never happens. Knocking on wood. But yeah.
Please.
Troy can like add in some more on to that fact.
Yeah, I think that the numbers don't lie. I have 570 trips at this point, give or take, and I think I've had 10 damage claims. So pretty much the same percentage. And honestly, at the end of the day, of those 10 damage claims, as long as you know how to build rapport with your clients and you know how to speak correctly and you know how to walk them through the process the right way, out of those 10, I've only had to use Turo 2 times. And those are the only 2 times I've had to pay my deductible. The first time I was on the 75 plan, so it was a little easier of a decision for me. I just had to pay $250. My car got handled. And yeah, it was negative $250, but at the end of the day, for the prices that I'm renting my cars out at, it was minimal. And then the second time I was on the 90 plan with my Tesla, it was a Turo Go fraud renter, which happens. We'll talk about that probably in a future video and how to deter people from doing that, because I've now figured that out so it doesn't happen to me anymore. And I did have to pay my deductible for that one. Although at the end of the day, I was still able to work with Turo and they were able to lower my deductible, so I didn't have to pay the full $2,500, which was awesome. Again, it goes to understanding how to speak to people and how to kind of manipulate different things to get your way. So it's a really, really good point. I mean, I have really nice vehicles. You have really nice vehicles. Your C8 that you know, we care about our vehicles, right? Just like you care about your employees when you work in a business. You have to have a good culture. You have to have a good environment. Same thing for our vehicles. When things happen, of course, it upsets us. But at the end of the day, that is just a horse and it's out there to make you money. So you have to just kind of roll with the punches and you have to figure out how to do things correctly to where it doesn't destroy you. And yeah, every once in a while you'll lose $1,000 on a car in a month, but it's how you bounce back and how you continue to manipulate your market and make money. So I think that's a really good point. A lot of things I see people talk about too is to your point, I think you said Macon. Oh, I went out and bought a brand new Porsche Macon, and the car payment's $1,200 a month, and I'm only making $1,300. So by the time I pay my insurance, I clean the car, and I use my time, I'm losing money on this car. So I think that you talked about it right before we started this. The less risk when starting, the better, right? You never jump into a brand new business and try to be the top dog. You jump into it and try to learn the business, understand the business. So when you're looking at buying your first vehicle, if you're watching this video and you're just thinking about getting your first car, you don't have an extra car in the garage like Steven talked about, do not go out and buy a 2016 BMW i8 and post it on Turo when there's 25 other BMW i8s. There's not 25 people traveling to your city every weekend looking to rent an i8. So when you're in that situation, what's going to happen is it's going to be a race to the bottom, and you're going to be continually decreasing your prices, trying to outbid everybody basically to get that first rental. That's not the way. When you're starting out, the best way, no matter who says, what says, anything, is to go out and start with an economy vehicle. A vehicle that you know people are going to rent, that's reliable, that doesn't cost you a lot of money out of pocket, so that it doesn't take more than 8 days rented to be able to break even. That's the key. People will go out and they'll buy a $1,300 per month car. After all their expenses, they're over $1,500, and you have to lower the price to $100 a day. You're looking at 15 days before you can even break even. That's 50% utilization on a vehicle that you have no idea how to operate. You don't know how to market it to the Turo environment. So the less risk, the better when you start off in this business, for sure.
Yep. Now, keep in mind, like, say you do go out and you get that economy car, as we're suggesting, but you know, like, obviously if your finances can offset like the potential the potential of the car not getting rented, then yeah, sure, go get the Beamer Porsche. By the way, Troy, it's pronounced Macan.
What did I say? Macon?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Porsche guy.
But so the next point of the video was, you can't do what everyone else does. You know, you can't just get the car, take some pictures of it while it's still at the dealer's lot, and then upload that, and then like expect like someone's gonna look at that photo and be like, oh, what a beautiful car, let me rent that.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta get up off your ass, take that car to a nice spot, make sure you have like a pretty new iPhone if you're gonna be taking it on that. You know, don't be taking on that iPhone 9 with a shitty camera. Or, you know, go get a camera or go hire someone. You know, it's like $100 extra, and that $100 is a good investment and a tax write-off, mind you. You take that car, you take the camera, you go to a nice spot, and you take those pictures. You can look up Turo photography, and it will show you this Porsche Boxster, I believe. It's a gray one. It's a convertible, and it shows you, bless you, it shows you all the angles that you should be taking of your vehicle. And you know, the distance, the angles that Turo provides, they're perfect. I follow them and they work great. So go and do that for photos. When it comes to like bio and writing guidelines, you know, use ChatGPT. Don't be lazy and write like a few sentences like, don't smoke in my car, and that's it. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, introduce the car. Do bullet points of what the car offers: leather seats, heated seats, all-wheel drive, CarPlay, Android Play, etc., etc., etc. You know, ChatGPT it if you don't know. Just put in that extra mile. Like, it really does work and it really does help. And definitely scheduled messages. It'll save you time, and you know, just you're going to be answering a lot of basic questions like often. Like I have a scheduled message where they could pick up the car, where they can find the keys, and then I have a scheduled message 5 minutes later giving a basic notes of the car, what kind of gasoline the car takes, if like the gearbox is different, like explaining how that works, just like little notes on the car. It goes a long way and it really helps. If you look at my profile, 254 trips right now, 209 reviews, all 5 stars, and they almost always say like fantastic communication. And I think that's hilarious because I barely communicate with them. It's just the scheduled messages, really. Like I'll also have like a scheduled message saying like, how's the car treating you, like 5 hours later.
That little bit though separates you, man, because this is a low barrier of entry to get into the business. So you got a lot of people that just jump in and don't understand the importance of communication. So those small little things like that make all the difference. So on that note, we're talking about, is Turo worth it in 2024, right? We've talked about some things that'll help you kind of get started, but at the end of the day, is Turo still worth it, right? You go on Reddit, you go on YouTube, you see all these videos of people that have been unsuccessful, right? They always say that people that are unsuccessful are going to be louder than the people that are successful. So you're seeing a lot of negative things out there in the space. So I just did the breakdown real quick of a calculation on one of my cars while Stephen was just talking. You got to understand that you can make really good money in this business, and it can also be worth your time. You go on Reddit, you see people talking about, oh, it's not worth it to rent the car for $60 a day. I got to clean it. I got to wash it. I got to take pictures. You're talking about things that take the most minimal amount of time, right? So I just did a breakdown. You say it again.
And effort.
And literally, I mean, like, I could teach my 8-year-old niece how to do the stuff that I do for this business.
Yeah.
You wash the car, you vacuum it, you take some pictures. I mean, an 8-year-old kid could do it. And the fact that once I break these numbers down for you, guys are going to understand that you can make an absurd amount of money, triple digits per hour, to wash a car and take pictures of it and send a couple of messages. Hell yes. The answer is absolutely. Turo is 100% worth it in 2024. As long as you're doing it correctly, which is what Steven and I are doing and which a lot of hosts on Turo are doing. There's plenty of people out there making plenty of money. So we're going to use another one of my vehicles for this example, because $60 per day was what they actually put on Reddit. And that's a little less than what my Wrangler goes out for. I have a 2016 Jeep Wrangler. So we're just going to use $60 per day. If it goes out 21 days per month, that's $1,320 in revenue. Okay, so $1,320. Average rental is about 3 days, and it takes me an hour tops to get the car ready for a rental. Okay, so 7 hours per month to get it out for 21 days. That comes out to a total of $188 per hour, right? Obviously, that's gross revenue. So you take out your expenses on the vehicle. I have a car payment, I have insurance, and I have a car wash that I pay every single month. After my expenses, I'm still making $121 an hour. $121 an hour for 7 hours of my life per month on a 2016 Jeep Wrangler.
To vacuum, clean, and take some photos. Damn, to get paid a surgeon's salary just to do those 3, that must suck.
Yeah, I'm no rocket scientist. That's the thing, man. I'm just a guy that did his research, understands how to operate this business, and I capitalize on my market. So $121 an hour on a 2016 Jeep Wrangler, and that is one of my worst performing vehicles. And I'm using a number less than what I actually rent it for, and 21 days per month is on average less than what I really rent it for. So just to break it down nice and simple, you can make a lot of money in this business as long as you know what you're doing. And that's why Steven and I have built TPP, to help people understand on how to do what we do. And like I said, you guys jump into our Discord. All these numbers that we're throwing out, I already posted my Tesla Model 3 in this video so that you can see it's real. You guys jump into Discord, you'll see all day in our testimonials channel, we post every single day, every single time one of our cars gets booked. I'll show you my revenue anytime. I'll show you my full P&L anytime. We are legit, and this is 100% facts proven by Turo's numbers. So yes. Turo is worth it in 2024.
To get you guys to like, I'll put my money where my mouth is. Look up what a Toyota Corolla Cross is going for right now. My 2024 earnings, it is currently February 12th, $2,673.84.
Jesus.
My Volkswagen Jetta 2023, go ahead and look what that cost. $2,000.81. I mean $2,000 $2,081.69. That's like a 10% of what the car is worth, and I made it in a month and 2 weeks. Like, and if you want the proof, join the Discord and at me. I will happily screenshot it and show you it. I'll put Turo's photo when I'm editing this video. I'll put it up. I'm not going to put it in mine. If you want to see mine, join the Discord and ask me. I'll happily show you it. So this also moves into our last and next note. Scaling. See, a lot of people, they want to test the waters with Turo, and that's very understandable, and that's what I did, and I believe that's what Troy did as well.
Yep.
You get one vehicle and you test the waters, but you don't expect, like, one vehicle is not going to make you 10 grand. That's like, unless you're getting a Lamborghini, it might in the summer, 1 month, 2 months maybe, but don't be expecting to quit your job over 1 month. You should just be getting situated with Turo. You should be getting situated with customer support, and you should just be getting a feel for how you should be utilizing your time with your job if you have one, or just, whatever daily activities you have normally. That one vehicle, that's all you should be looking at. You should be doubling your car note. If you are not doubling your car note, congratulations, you're doing Turo wrong, and you should quit. Or join TPP and we'll help you. Like,
That's the right answer.
like we're tripling, quadrupling our car note. My Jetta is paid off in a year and a half. What are you guys doing if you're barely making revenue? But going back to the point, that's all one car should be. Now, if you want to get a second one, I highly recommend you stick with the economies. Because, it will come a time where the car has to go to the body shop maybe, or just be in service. Right now, my Beamer's in service for like a month, maybe 2 months, because they have a part on back order. So that's like a month or two I'm going to be paying for the car. I'm not even going to have it, and it won't be generating me money. But I have 5 other cars that will be paying that car off to where I don't have to worry about that Beamer, such as the Volkswagen, such as the Corolla. So think about that as you're going down. This is how you can properly make Turo worth it in 2024. But don't just like jump the gun and get 5 cars off the rip. Don't overwhelm yourself. So Troy, anything you want to leave the viewers with?
No, I think that's a good point. And, we're both kind of far removed from that one car lifestyle, right? So I kind of forget what it was like at the beginning. But we have a student right now that's in New York that just got his first vehicle 2 months ago.
Which we recommended. We did the research and told him which one to get.
Yeah. And honestly, his first month, I don't think he was able to rent out a full month, but I think he made $480 in profit on one vehicle. And
which
then
is double the car note.
Yep. Easy. And then his second month, I think he made almost $800 in profit. So sometimes starting with one car and stacking a couple of months worth of that profit, this guy that we're talking about, our student, he goes 3 months and now he has his deductible saved up. So now you feel a little more comfortable. Okay, I can go buy that second car. If something happens to one, at least I have enough money to cover the car payment and a deductible for whatever happens. But it's a really big compounding effect in this business. You buy one car, that car starts to make $1,000 a month in profit. You buy a second car, now you're at 2,000, and your third car may be a big winner. My third car was a huge winner. My third car makes almost $2,000 a month in profit every single month. So it just starts to compound continuously, and you just continue to grow and grow and grow. And next thing you know, you're at 12 cars and you're making over $16,000 a month in profit, man. So it moves quickly. But start with one, start with a car you're comfortable with. Make sure that you're not spending your last dollar on a Turo vehicle. Do not come into this business with $0 because you're going to have to purchase some things on the front end. You're going to have to pay for your insurance. You're going to have a little bit of a safety net if something does happen. But if you're smart and you join this business correctly and you have 2 coaches mentoring you that'll help you do it the correct way, it's 1,000% worth it. There's no way you can fail in this business. It's simple. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You just have to know the tips and the tricks on how to do it correctly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to add on to that. If you guys want to reach us, I'll put down the email down below. I'll put down our Discord link and website. Check us out over there. Feel free to join the Discord and add us or create a ticket. One of us will respond to you within an hour because, we run a Turo business. We always got our phones on us just in case the car gets rented. So,
Yeah. And on top of that, subscribe to this channel. We're doing a couple of face-to-face videos just to kind of get this ball rolling, but subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you guys want to see in these videos. If you have specific questions, jump into our Discord and let us know if there's a topic you want us to go over specifically. We filmed hours and hours of courses that we've already put out there, but if there's something that you're interested in seeing, let us know. I know that we're both going to record a day in the life of us being a Turo host with, together we have a combined 20 vehicles. So we're going to show you guys what that's like, kind of show you how simple this business can be. But we're open and we want to hear what you guys want to learn about so that we can continue to post good content for you.
Yeah, guys. I'm 24. I assume most of you who are watching this are older than me. You're going to tell me a 24-year-old is going to kick your butt at Turo? Jump in and be my competition. Let's see it. I want to see other people grow. I want to see, because it makes me also want to grow. But yeah,
a little bit of friendly competition.
If Troy would move his head, make sure you guys are subscribing and checking out that company. And that'll be all for the video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. And that's all from us. Peace.
Big thanks for coming.